Hey everyone, Manchak here. I'm going to give you a quick introduction to Google Classroom and how I've set everything up because I'm a little concerned that people aren't finding their way and navigating their way through it as well as they should. So I'm going to run you through using Science 8 as the model. But this setup, what I've tried to do is make it common for everybody through Chem 30, Bio 30, Science 9, whatever it might be. I'm trying to do the setup the same so that if you're helping a sibling, something along those lines, you'll be able to track down the bits and pieces that you're looking for. So when you log into the Google Classroom, this should be what you see for Science 8. It won't be what you see for example for Chem 30. But for Science 8, this is what you should be able to see. This is what we call our stream. And so the stream is where I'm just going to post up updates for you that you guys might want to see at some point along the way. Whether it is, something about, what I've posted for lessons, something along those lines, maybe just some updates, those kinds of things. I'm going to post them in here. So there's not much going on unless I have something important I want to announce to you. By the way, this is also will be where I will post our Google Meet links. Although I think there's a new thing coming for that, so we'll play around with that later. Um, and by the way, this is what I see on my screen. So if it's a little bit different on yours, it's probably just because you're looking at it through a teacher's account rather than through a student's account. When you click on classwork, this is where all the action is happening. So this is where you're going to find all of the stuff that I've posted up for you to have a look at, to play around with, to experiment with, to watch, to do work on, those kinds of things. So, for example, every classroom has a general information thing right at the top. And so I've posted things like your concept checklist. So you'd click on that and you could click into the Science 8 concept checklist and it'll show you all the concepts in that unit or for the entire year actually. Um, I've posted up a weekly course progression for every class, just so you can see roughly what concepts I expect us to be doing, depending on the week that we're working on. So I'm recording this in on the 9th of April, so we should be finishing up C5 this week. If you're a little bit behind, I'm not panicking. Then we move into the units. And so for us in Science 8, right now we've really been working just on Unit C. And we started down here at the bottom with Concept C4, and then the newer stuff I've put up here on the top. If you're watching this and you're in Chem or you're in Bio, I think I have it reversed in that, but it's no big deal. So what you're going to do is I try to rank things in the order that I want you to go through them. And you'll notice that I've gone and I've labeled the concepts that we're dealing with. So everything with a C5 is dealing with concept C5. Everything with a C4 is dealing with concept C4. And don't forget, if you're not sure what those concepts are, go check your concept checklist and it's in there. All the other thing I'll point out here is at the bottom of each of the units, you're going to have two other materials tabs. That's what these symbols are. And one is for resources like notes and worksheets, and the other one is for resources for worksheet keys. I put them separately just so that, to me, separating them means that you have to go a little bit more work before you go and cheat and try to find the answer. So maybe you'll try to have a look at the worksheet first and work it out first before you just look at the key. So inside here, you can see, you'll click on it and you can find the handout is the notes that we're dealing with. So this one says Light and Optical System Notes. And then you can see the 5 worksheets that we had throughout the course of the unit. And so you could click on any one of these. And I don't know why that's giving me that symbol, but we'll fix that in a minute. And you can click on anything and have a look at those notes or the worksheet. Same thing with the keys. Here's the keys for worksheets 1, 2, and 3. I don't know why it's doing that, so I'm going to have to fix that. And it seems to be doing it from all my PDFs, so I will fix that. And then here's the key for worksheet number 4, which is one that I'd actually typed out. Okay, so you'll find those all in there. The next thing is I posted a lesson for each of the concepts that we've done so far. So you can see the lesson for C1 or for C4 here, the lesson for C5 here, and inside there, what I've done is I've given you guys a list of things that I think you need to know. So first off, this is the video that I recorded for that lesson. It's up on YouTube, so you can access it easily through YouTube and download it from there. And then I've got textbook pages. I've got other resources to remind you of that I talk about in the video. There are practice questions, a worksheet, and then formative questions in the Google Classroom. So all of that stuff is listed there. If you want to see the video, you just need to click on it. It calls it up, and you can see me talking at you down here in my basement of my house. Then with that, I have another set of materials here for resources, videos, and other resources. And so if you click on that, you'll see I've attached some videos that I think are good that you guys should watch. And I usually make reference to them in the lesson. And if I don't, it's a good idea to pop into here anyway and just have a look at these. You don't have to watch all of them. I've put them in there just to take you guys a little bit further in your learning. So those are the resources. And I might also put other things in there like a link to a web page that I think is important or something else that I think you should really see. Then what I've done for each concept is a set of formative assignments that you guys are going to do. And this is where it's going to start to look a little bit different on my end. Each of you will have one of these two, just because I thought I'd do two separate assignments because I was able to do that easily. And a formative assignment, remember, is an assignment that you do sort of as practice in the process of learning what you're supposed to be doing. So I expect you to do it before you do anything else, before you go into these summative things, which are quote unquote for marks. So you go into the formative thing, and then you can go and click on the assignment and it'll take you into the actual assignment, and then you can work your way through it and make sure you click submit at the bottom when you're done. And I'm wondering if a few of you may have forgotten to click submit on a couple of them before. It's going to be multiple choice. I might do some matching. This is a short answer question that you would answer in here. It shows you the points that are associated with it. And then what happens is when you click submit at the bottom, it gets sent off to me. And then what happens is I go and I review what you've put, and then I can go and return it back to you in the Google Classroom, and you get feedback that way. And so I want you guys to be able to get feedback from me before you go and do the summative assignment. So the summative quizzes are down here, and it's the same general idea. You click on that, and then you move into the quiz, and you do your Google form, and you go from there. Again, this looks a little bit different because there's two of them for each of these because I've created two of them, but not everybody has two of them. You each have one. I've just assigned you to 1 or 1A depending on who you are. So that's how that's organized. So you can see this is all of C4 and the stuff that I wanted you to click through. This is all of C5 and the stuff that I wanted you to click through. C5 has a little extra bit to it that I added on, an activity that I thought I'd set to you guys as a bit of a bonus, just to see how things worked out. And it looks like 4 of you have turned it in of the 19 that I have it assigned to. And so I can go in and have a look at this as a bit of a bonus. So anything that comes up with this symbol is materials, bits of information that you guys need, resources, that kind of stuff. Anything that comes up with the little clipboard symbol is something that you can do or you have to do and have a look at. Okay, so that's the quick tour of how I've organized my Google Classrooms. And like I said, it's similar for whether you're working in Science 9, right? There's your stream, there's your classwork, right? And there's our Unit C stuff, all the way organized again C5 and C4 just happen to be working at the same. And even for the folks over in Biology 30, same kind of idea. We've moved through and I've organized it. It's just a little reverse order. I've got B2, B3, B4, B5, and we're just scrolling down through that way. So I hope that's been instructive for you, to give you an idea of how things are organized. If you think you need it, let me know and I can put together a tutorial on how to do one of the Google Forms if you need some help on that. But most people seem to be figuring it out just fine. So thanks for listening. I hope this 10 minutes was worth your while. And as always, you can track me down, email, or pop onto my Google Meets that I'm holding to get any extra support. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk soon.